Hey, this is Tim, and I'm going to show you quickly how to use the portable sound system here at Sardis. So here it is, and you start by opening these little clasps here. There's little buttons underneath. You just push in, and it should open like this. And then you can kind of push this in and pull this up. So that's how that opens. And when you do that, this opens up, and this is the speaker. And then this has a compartment here that you open by pushing this thing down. And then that has all your cords and speakers and microphone and everything in there. Okay, so then you do the same thing on the other side. And that will reveal this side here with all the buttons and knobs. And so what you start with is getting the power supply in from back here and plugging it in. All right, so this is it. And it just plugs into here in the back, like so. And then you just plug this into any sort of outlet. And then you hit the on button, which is right here. Now it's on. Now these are the stands that the two speakers sit on. And I'll show you how to set those up and also where they go on the speakers. So they go, if you look under the speaker, there's a hole that the stands just slide in, and then you can determine how tall you want them. So you start by just loosening this knob here. Once you do that, you can pull these legs out nice and easily, and it makes a tripod. So once you get them to a nice wide stance, you're gonna put the speaker right on top onto that. So once it's on there, you just use this crank here to raise the speaker if you'd like, and it can go quite high up. All right, so that's how high up it can get. You don't need it that high, but if you want the sound to carry, it's good to have it high, and you don't have to worry about going too far. It'll just stop, it won't fall out. All right, so once you've got those set up, you're gonna wanna take these black and red 1/4-inch cords and plug them into the back of the system here. There's this little area that says speaker outputs. It doesn't really matter which one you put where. So you can just plug one in, and then you follow it to the front of the speaker. You'll see that there's a little input on the very front. You just plug it in there as well, make sure it's in all the way, and that should be good, and you do that for both of them. All right, so once you have both of those plugged in, here's where it can get a little tricky feeling, but it's pretty simple when you understand it. For someone who's new to a board like this, it can look pretty complicated, but here's what you need to know. If you look here, this says channel 1. This whole column vertically controls channel 1. So think of these in columns, and then it won't be as overwhelming. So if you want to set up a microphone, here's what you do. You take this, which is called an XLR cord, and you'll plug one end into the channel 1 slot there. See, it's in channel 1. And then you'll plug the other end into the microphone itself. And then once you do that, there's a few options here. This knob is the overall volume of everything. So you can make that totally off or middle or 3/4. Or there's also the level of just the channel itself. So these two kind of interact with each other. You're gonna just wanna adjust those till it's the right volume for you. Don't worry about these knobs. If you're worried, just have these two in the middle there and have this one all the way lower. That's just an effect on it that you don't want to have. This button, just make sure it's not on, or else it's going to be very quiet. So make sure it's off, and then you're all good to go. And this too, just if you're worried, just set it in the middle, and it should be good to go. So now you've got your microphone, and when I talk into it, you'll see that it picks up the volume. Check, check, check. So I'm coming through, and it should be all good to go. So just remember that with any microphone, you don't want the microphone itself pointing right at the speaker, or else it will feed back like this. Check, check. So have the mic not too close to the speakers and not pointing right at a speaker. So this has two other features that I think will be applicable to you. The first is that if you have a USB drive that has music on it, it should be able to work. If you just have music on it, then you plug it into the USB slot here, and in a second it should light up. There you go. And all you do is hit play, and it'll turn on. And then if you want to skip songs, and then to be done, you just need to pull it out. There's no other way to eject it. Another thing you can do is play audio from your own device. You'll find in there an 1/8" jack that you can use for a device. This is how you'll do that. Okay, so you take it and you plug it into this stereo jack here. It's an 1/8" one. And then again, this controls that channel. So this channel 7 here is that channel. And again, keep these just in the middle, this one at the bottom, just all the way down. And this is where you can adjust the level of that channel. So you take it and you plug it into your device. So in this case, I've got an iPad and it's got an 1/8" jack. So you just plug it in, make sure it's nice in all the way. And then from there, you can just play your music and it'll come out, and then you can turn it up or down. So just be aware that we only have an 1/8" cord in there. If your device has something else, like only a Thunderbolt or any other thing like that, you're gonna have to provide your own cord that goes from that into an 1/8". So you're gonna have to provide your own cord if you have a device that doesn't have an 1/8" jack at the end. All right, so that's everything. Once you're done, just put it all back together how you found it and bring it back to the church. Hope that helped.